Hi everyone, it's Rich and Chris from Retro Sanctuary. So we're back after another long hiatus. We were sort of thinking that the first hiatus would be the last one, but obviously COVID came back again,
Yep.
and this one was even longer than the first
Yeah,
hiatus.
December last year, wasn't it?
So how have you been anyway?
Yeah, not too bad. COVID took a small toll on my life, but I've come back better than ever. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. I've been all right. It's good to get back to sort of making videos again now. Hopefully we'll be able to bring out a video every week again like we were before.
I'm looking forward to getting back into the swing of things. So
Yeah.
what we got planned this week then?
Well, this week I thought we'd attempt to complete and review Super Mario Land for the original Game Boy. So this was actually a launch title for the system that was released back in 1989. You got any experience with the game at all?
Yeah, I've played it a little bit, but I didn't really ever complete it. It's not one of those games I persevered with, really.
Yeah, I mean, I owned this back in the day. I did have it on the Game Boy, and I've completed it a few times. So we shouldn't really have too many problems with it.
Good.
We're going to be playing the game on the Super Game Boy, which was an add-on for the Super Nintendo, just for the purposes of capturing footage and such. But the Super Game Boy actually pretty much was just Game Boy tech in like a shell, effectively. So all of the stuff that was in the original Game Boy is in there. So it's quite authentic to the original experience. You want to get to it then?
Yeah, let's go for it. Go, let's do this.
Obviously, sort of the usual Mario gameplay is there, isn't it? You know, get a mushroom, gives you an extra hit point. Makes you bigger. There are a few differences actually with this game though, quite a few. The usual sort of Mario games.
They don't look like fireballs at all, do they?
Yeah, the
They're
way
like
they
bowling balls.
the way they move is a little bit different as well. Actually, ricochet around in a different fashion, don't they?
Yeah.
And this game wasn't actually made by the usual Mario team. It was made by the people who made the Game Boy itself, which was Gunpei Yokoi and his team. So this was the Nintendo team that sort of made Metroid and Kid Icarus effectively. Trying their hand at Mario. I guess because they were making the handheld system itself, they were in the best position to sort of get some of the early games out,
Yeah, they knew the limitations of the hardware, didn't they? So.
Yeah, you can kind of tell that this isn't made by the usual Mario team as well, sort of stylistically, can't you?
Yeah.
With these sphinxes and
no.
such here. And even the bad guy in this game is not actually Bowser, it's an alien called Tatanga. And the whole game actually is set in like a different kingdom, I think. And Tatanga would return in the sequel as well.
6 gold coins.
Yeah, but
I played that extensively.
he wasn't the final boss because that was Wario, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
So he got sort of demoted to just being a level like the boss of a world, I guess.
That was a really lovely game, actually.
Yeah, it is really nice.
Oh.
That's another weird one, isn't it? Not really Mario's music, is it? What is it?
Actual piece of music.
It's the can
Can,
sort
yeah.
of music, isn't it?
It is the can.
So where did you play this then? You say you didn't own it, you say?
I did.
Oh, you did?
I did. But so I got my Game Boy when Pokemon Red and Blue came out.
Oh, right.
So
Super late.
Yeah.
I remember that when that came out, I hadn't played Game Boy for years.
Oh, tell a lie. My mum owned a Game Boy.
Did you?
And she had it on there. She had Tetris, she had this, and she had Spider-Man.
Oh, right. That was made by Rare, I think, Spider-Man. I did actually have that Spider-Man game as well.
It was a good game.
Yeah, it was too hard though.
Yes, I'd agree. But I think I got
Oh shit.
6 gold coins before I got this.
See, this is kind of weird for a Mario game as well, really, isn't
But
it?
very cool.
A lot of these Game Boy games had these shoot 'em up sections interspersed into the levels. I've noticed actually. So they're all slipping my mind at the moment. I mean, the Batman game that has shoot 'em up sections, and I think Battletoads does as well. But I'm sure there were a bunch of others as well, like platformers. I quite like Tatanga actually as a bad guy. Funny little alien thing. I think he's underused. He's underrated, the old Tatanga.
Underrated.
He should be in more games.
They should bring him out in Smash.
I'll tell you who else is underrated as well, actually. I quite like the Cooper Kids, or whatever they were called.
Oh, yeah, I like the Cooper Kids.
And
like Ludwig and...
Yeah, they're not even, like, supposed to be his kids anymore, though.
What are they now, then?
They're just Coopers. But they sort of...
They were his kids, though. In the
They
animated
were,
TV
yeah.
show, they're his
They
children.
were in the original instructions as well. They changed it later on. But it's just baby... What's it, Baby Bowser's?
Yeah, Baby Bowser now. Bowser Jr.
Bowser Jr., that's the one.
Which is crappy.
He's replaced him.
He's
and yeah,
terrible
I did
compared.
kind of agree with that, actually. This bit I don't like much.
Ride on the boulders.
Yeah. But you must have gotten decently into the game. Cause
No,
you
I
can
worked it
remember
out. I didn't
Oh,
remember
right.
that. I worked it out. Like, I'm like, there's no way you're getting across there. There's got to be a route.
Yeah, it gets harder if you miss the first one. So it's best to always get the first boulder that falls.
Hey.
I'm kind of glad that bit's done. Yeah, this was going to be the pack-in for the Game Boy as well. Originally, it was intended to be the pack-in, but someone talked Nintendo into putting Tetris in there instead. They thought it had more wide appeal, sort of thing, you know.
I think they were right, didn't you?
I reckon so, yeah. In
It does have
hindsight,
more wide appeal.
because, like I said before, I had a Game Boy, and Tetris must have sold at least 3 Game Boys to like my cousins and my aunts and such. So Tetris was like massive at the time, you know. It was massive amongst people who weren't normal gaming sort of people, you know.
Yeah,
A lot
it
of the
appealed to everything and everybody.
Yeah. So when you think of it like that, I guess people who are into Mario were going to get the Game Boy anyway, whereas Tetris sort of sold it to a different demographic, you know.
I told you, my mum had a Game Boy before I did, and
Yeah.
her game was Tetris. She loves Tetris.
Yeah, my mum loved Tetris. 2 of my cousins, one of my aunts, got a Game Boy for Tetris. I have to admit though, at the time, I mean, I was like 8 years old at the time. I thought that they packed Tetris in with the Game Boy because it was the worst game on the system and they couldn't sell it. That was my theory as an 8-year-old. Doesn't really stand up to scrutiny, does it? You know?
No, you were
Put the worst game in there.
Oh, damn! I didn't jump. You were completely wrong.
Put the worst game. Yeah, that was several Game Boys, wasn't it? But because I didn't understand the idea. I mean, I felt like, oh, they have all these Tetris cartridges. They can't sell them, so put them with the Game Boys. But obviously, you just wouldn't manufacture any more Tetris, would you? You wouldn't manufacture that many.
No,
if
they
it was
just bury
terrible.
them somewhere in Utah.
Pretty much.
Also with the Easter Island symbolism throughout
Yeah.
the game.
At least it was a checkpoint. Just
Yeah.
there. It's nice.
Bounce over me all day long anyway. Yeah, I remember it. No, I don't.
You've got to jump over its head, I think.
Yeah.
Oh well,
Just
it
run through it.
works.
Just run through it. Hey, airplane time. You son of a... Why did he jump?
It's the last level now, maybe.
Left it a bit short there. Oh god. How is a cloud shooting birds out?
They're hiding in the cloud. Why is the cloud quacking like a duck? That's what I want to know.
It's the birds inside it, they're all ducks. Yeah. Tatanga time.
Yeah.
Take this, Tatanga. That's not. I am hitting. Ah! I am hitting him.
Do both boss fights have to be done? Yeah, it looks like you have to do both of them.
But the first one ain't on. What are you doing? Oh, you're looking
I
at that
want
mushroom.
that.
You lose it. Oh. So, biplane versus spaceship. Is this slow down? You know, I wouldn't have said
Sorted.
that's too challenging.
Nah, it's not too bad, is it? A lot of these Game Boy games are quite easy, really. I've done it. Quite nice music, actually, in the end bit. The end. I think that's it now.
Okay, Rich, what do you think of the game then?
I think this is a nice little game actually, and it's a good introduction to the Game Boy really as well. It sort of shows what the Game Boy is capable of. Obviously, it's not as impressive as later Game Boy games were, but it does provide Mario on the go, really, doesn't it? I think musically it's quite nice. You know, it uses the Game Boy sound chip reasonably well. The soundtrack's quite memorable, isn't it? Some odd decisions with like the star and
I was
such.
going to say, I think it's memorable because it's come from other places.
Well, I don't know. Some of the level music obviously isn't. You know, and I quite like the ending music as well. So I think there's some good. There's a good soundtrack here. Some of the sound effects are a bit weird.
They're a bit wonky, aren't they?
Yeah, the sound effects and like the music for picking up stars is a bit odd. But I mean, it's kind of a minor complaint, really, isn't it? Got to say, at the time, when the Game Boy came out, handheld gaming was really in its infancy. You know, all you had was sort of LCD games, very simplistic games, nothing like this sort of thing where you have, you know, different levels, much more complex gameplay. So there's not really a whole lot that actually existed to compete with it, and you know, given it's a launch title. I think there was some handhelds that had interchangeable cartridges previously, but they were very, very basic machines. Nothing like this. I mean, this is the first real attempt at putting sort of a console into, you know, a handheld sort of console, really, with interchangeable cartridges. On the downside, it is a bit too short and easy, I think, isn't it? I mean, we didn't have many problems with it at all, did we? I mean, when I was a kid, it took me quite a long time to complete it, but as adults, you know, most people should be able to get through this within like an hour, maybe even.
If that.
So what did you think of the game then?
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a nice little starter for the Game Boy. I mean, gameplay-wise, it's a bit simplistic, a bit easy. You know, there wasn't really much to think about. It got better with the enemy AI towards the end of the game, which was obviously for the difficulty curve of the game, but I didn't find at any point that I was challenged, shall we say. So that's a little bit of a note of a downside. The music's great, and it's very memorable. It's a fun game as well.
Yeah.
It does get... I mean, the boss fights, if I didn't run through that guy by mistake, I'll thoroughly admit that, by mistake, and just get to the end, I would have worked out that I'd had to jump on the boulders, and it would have taken timing, which would have added enjoyment, which was good. I really liked the submarine and the plane levels. They're good fun.
Yeah, there's
a nice change of pace.
Variety in the game, a little bit here and there, you know.
Nice change of pace and variety. And overall, it's just a nice game to play. It's not nothing you're going to say, oh my god, this has changed my life.
Yeah.
But equally, it's not a game and watch. So, yeah, thoroughly enjoyed playing it.
And one thing you have to sort of think about as well is these Game Boy games were cheaper than the console games, so the memory, they were like smaller cartridges. Smaller cartridges, obviously less levels, you know. So you can sort of understand there that Game Boy games are going to be shorter than NES and Master System games, you know, to an extent.
So what are you going to score it then, Rich?
Score-wise, I think I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. You know, just because it is a bit too short and easy. It's very difficult, isn't it? Because you sort of think, well, what is it competing with? You know, because at the time this would be a very new experience to be able to play this kind of game on the go.
Oh, brand new. Nothing else came before it, really.
So you do sort of feel like maybe you have to give it credit there, but at the same time, like the sequel to this is such a massive improvement on it. You know, if we were to give this a 5 out of 5, yeah,
You couldn't give.
there's a big gulf between this one and the second one, in my opinion. Like in other genres, Tetris was on the Game Boy, and that probably is a 5 out of 5 game. To be fair, it's sort of
Because it stood the test of time.
and it's perfect for the Game Boy as well.
Yeah.
Perfect for just putting a game on for a little while when you know when you want to kill some time when you're out and about.
It covers all bases with all types of players.
Where are you going to score it then?
Well, all things considered, I'm actually going to give it a 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 is for the 2 factors. Number one, it had nothing to compete with, really, back when it came out. So I can't say I can just, this is an amazing game because it's got nothing to compete with, so therefore we've got to give it the high score. No, I don't believe in that. Also, the second one, 6 gold coins, is such a massive step up.
Yeah.
Like, humongous step up. Okay, guys, that was Super Mario Land for this week. Really good game.
Yeah, cool little game. It's nice to have played a Mario game for the channel finally.
Yeah, finally, after what, 2 years? 3 years? We finally
it's a
played
bit
a Mario
strange,
game.
really.
Yeah. Okay, guys, if you liked it, give us a like, give us a comment, and tell us what you think about the game. And subscribe to the channel because we're always releasing great new content like this. And we will see you next week with another game, guys. Take care.
See ya. I love the artwork on that as well.
Yeah, you didn't say anything about that, but that artwork is lovely.
I actually meant to say something about the artwork, and this is actually one of my favourite box arts of a Mario game, I think.